My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Wonka. And I was excited for this movie because it's directed by Paul King. And Paul King has directed two of the best family movies ever, Paddington 1 and especially Paddington 2. And I wanted to see what he would bring to this character, and I think he made one of the best movies of 2023. I really liked this movie. It's not perfect, it's flawed, but it's still pretty great. Let's begin talking about the plot. And I don't want to give anything away, and I don't want to exaggerate here, but I was very pleasantly surprised at how dark the inciting incident of this story is. It's not like bloody or disturbing or whatever, but it just had a meanness to it that I feel like is missing in so many kids' movies, and that was really well done. But then after that, this movie is just an utter delight. I was just smiling the entire time. There is one scene in a zoo that is just so perfect, and there's a character at the zoo, a security guard, and there's a joke involving him, which I really liked, but I really love how that character comes back into the movie later on. And what just could have been a throwaway joke, a good throwaway joke, actually ends up being more than that. And I'm just like, this movie's just so clever and it's so heartfelt, and how can you not be won over by it? I do think this movie is quite funny. I laughed out loud a few times in the theater. There's one running joke involving the police chief that I just loved. I hear some people are offended by it, which is just crazy to me, but it made me laugh. I like how goofy and silly this movie can be, and it's just a very charming watch. I think Paul King directs this movie incredibly well. From a technical standpoint, this movie excels. The production design is fantastic. I think the costumes look really great, and I think it's a really well shot movie. He definitely gives this movie some style and personality, and it's always appreciated. And then we get to the musical aspect, and I'm already seeing everyone throw the songs under the bus. They say the songs are garbage, they're no good, and there's two songs. The very first two songs, mind you, I hate it. I'll get to it in my negatives, but this movie does not start off strong. But the rest of the songs I really dug. Scrub Scrub, I thought it worked perfectly for this movie. For a Moment is my favorite song in the movie. That one just really moved me. I thought You've Never Had Chocolate Like This was really fun, and A World of Your Own is really great as well. So honestly, I liked the vast majority of the songs in this movie, but just know that it is a musical. I heard some people whisper during the first song, "Oh, it's a musical?" Like they didn't know. So just something you should know. It's not an original song, but Pure Imagination is used a few times in this movie. The way it is used at the end of this movie, I thought was absolutely perfect. It just shows you the strengths of this script. It's just so unashamed to be as heartfelt and as sincere as possible, and that is definitely one of this movie's strengths. This movie does star Timothée Chalamet, and if you know me, you know I'm not the biggest fan of him. I think his performance in Dune is very mediocre, and I did not like what I saw from him based on the trailers. But it took a while, but eventually I was won over. It's a very different kind of Willy Wonka than Gene Wilder. If you want to compare them, Gene Wilder is still the best Willy Wonka, but I think Timothée Chalamet does great for what this movie needed him to do. And then you've got Calla Lane, who I thought did a great job. I don't think I've seen her in anything before, but I would like to see her get more opportunities in the future. A really delightful actress. Then you've got Olivia Colman, who I thought was just terrific here. Really great work. Tom Davis, I thought did a really good job as well. When I first saw him, I thought it was the guy from Thanksgiving and Hostile and Suits. I can't think of his name. But no, it's Tom Davis, and he still did a good job. Then we get to Patterson Joseph, who was good. Matt Lucas, who I thought was the funniest member of the Chocolate Cartel. That's right, I said Chocolate Cartel. That's a thing in this movie. Matthew Baton, he's a guy that has nothing to do, to be honest. Keegan-Michael Key, honestly, one of his better performances. I always criticize him, but I thought he was quite funny here. Hugh Grant, I thought was delightful, but he's not in this movie much, so keep your expectations in place. Rowan Atkinson is also not in this movie much at all, but he also made me laugh. And the rest of the cast did a really great job. There's a lot of characters, it's juggling a lot, but the movie never felt overstuffed. It's just a very well-balanced, smart screenplay, and I appreciate that. Now, I do got some issues, and the biggest one is that the first 5 to 10 minutes were pretty rough. When Wonka first comes to this place and he does his first chocolate demonstration, I didn't really like it at all. It just felt off. It didn't feel like they properly set up the story or the characters, and it felt jarring to me. But once the darker aspect of the story kicks in, I'm like, okay, now I'm engaged. Now I care. It just took a little bit. I do think at 2 hours long, this movie does drag every now and again. Not too much, but I feel like you could have tightened it up by maybe 5-10 minutes. And I just think some scenes could have been executed better. Just small nitpicks every now and again, like some of the editing being slightly off in moments, or some of the visual effects didn't look very good. Just a few little things that could really have made this movie great. But I still definitely recommend it. I had a great time. I was smiling the entire time. I really do think this movie is going to take off with the families over this Christmas break, and rightfully so. If you go into this movie wanting to hate it, and I see a lot of that apparently, then you're going to hate it. But if you go in wanting to like it and you want to just enjoy the goofiness, enjoy the heartfelt elements, I think you'll get a kick. So I'll give Wonka a 7.5 out of 10. But have you seen Wonka? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin out.